Good morning, everyone. I know it's really, really early in real time, so it's not 10 a.m. My body knows it, and I think some of you guys' bodies knows it. But as I wrote in a post prior to going live, um, I got an opportunity to go to Lake Michigan today, this morning. And I thought, I can still actually practice because that's what I will do anyway, and be able to share it. And those who are planning to come to the 10 o'clock yoga basics and the Empower Yoga can still participate in those when they wake up. um, I'd like to start today in a check in, so we can do that sitting or you could do it lying down. But in our check in, start to really just take a moment and acknowledge any emotional feelings that are going on, any physical sensations that are going on. And take a moment and envision, hold in your mind's eye who you are and who you want your actions and your words to reflect emotionally, not on an issue, not on a platform. What is the feeling? And know that that person is inside of you. And we're here to connect and feel whole, maybe a little more balanced. I'm going to do a yoga flow this morning. If you are here, feel free to say hello. If you are new, know that you can just grab a block or a strap. And if you don't have a block, a yoga block or a strap, just maybe get a stack of books or a chair or something to give you some support, and maybe a strap or a towel or a scarf. And that's for the physical aspects. Yoga is a connective practice that weaves in 8 elements of movement, breath, mindfulness, a lot of aspects. So you'll know if you continue to come and check me out now and again, you'll know that I don't just teach it as let's just move and stretch. Okay. Let's listen to our bodies and know that communication comes in many forms. The spoken communication and that visual video communication have become something that we've all relied upon. And there are nuances to how people receive information and how they're capable of expressing themselves. And it takes some compassion and some loving kindness. First, aim toward ourselves. Because if we don't know how to tune in and listen to all of the signals and ways in which our bodies and our spirit and our breath are trying to tell us, hey, I need some attention. Hey, I need a pause. Hey, I need a hug. Hey, I have some frustration that I don't know how to get out. Then all of that comes out maybe in imperfect ways, right? Maybe we slam a door. Maybe we stomp on something. Maybe we post something on social media and have a little regret because it had a little edge to it. So I'd like to keep focus, forgiveness, and loving kindness in mind. But at least for myself, I know that I'm really focusing on, am I able to hear what is really being said? Or am I reactive because I am already sharp and on edge myself? And so I get to dull that sharpness first, and then maybe I can receive others with a little bit more of that softness. Let's get started coming to standing. And remember, you don't have to be here this morning, this early. You can be joining us at 10, but hopefully I'll be halfway to Lake Michigan by then. All right, good morning. Let's feel the body. And maybe come standing. You can separate your feet or you can have your feet together. And just Maybe give it some soft treading. You know how if you have a cat, we're doing that bread kneading. Can we do that with our feet? And just move things, just to feel things move, not to tell the body that it has to be rigid, it has to be a certain way. Ah. And then I'm just going to come onto my toes and back to the heels, just feeling and loosening the soil, almost literally loosening the soil that I'm standing on. A little bit of hip rotation, wake it up. The body holds our story. The body holds our emotional memory, change direction. And so for some of us, last night's news of the passing to whatever is that next realm by Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg may feel like it can feel deeply saddening, as well as a bit of some fear or uncertainty regarding our nation, and so we can feel like a shock wave inside of our bodies. But maybe shake the arms, just shake it out. And this year, I've been seeing some really sad posts about 2020, can suck it. And we're categorizing this poor, number one, humanly manufactured calendar number named 2020. But we're blaming it and castigating it. And let's take a moment, and as we're shaking loose the body and the tissues, let's shake loose that perspective. Think about something good that happened yesterday. Think about something good that has happened this month, this year. And now I'm just going to loosen it up. Think about the blessing that if you're listening and participating, the blessing of blood pumping through your body right now, breath. So what's unsaid in your physical body right now? Let's reach up and let the upper body come forward. Now you can have those knees bent. You don't have to have those legs straight. What is a truth that we need to be giving and acknowledging to ourselves right now? And I'm going to come onto the tippy toes and lower the heels and lift the toes. We're just rocking back and forth. Feel your breath. Have some gratitude. What will I do with that breath? I'm going to round the spine up to standing. How do I want it to represent who I am and what I stand for? Not on an issue, just as a person, as a human being. Gonna let the wrists come down, open the shoulders, lift the chest, breath in, and let's come forward. Letting the arms go, we'll roll the spine up. So basics is just really fundamental and foundational. If you want to have your hands hold a strap, go ahead. Let's breathe in and lift the chest. We're not going to force the body into anything. Exhale, release. Feel what wants to bend, what wants to fold, release. Maybe feel the effects of trying to fold in ways mentally, emotionally that we're not meant to. Roll the spine up. Let's breathe in and lengthen, and a gentle side bend. Don't worry about how far. Just feel where the body naturally wants to stop. Some respect. Breath in. Are we listening to the signals? Exhale it over. Do we know when things are going too far? What are those warning signs? Breath in. And what do we need at that time? Forward fold. Maybe just slowing down rather than quitting. Maybe we need to express or let a sound out. Maybe we need to be seen or to change the pattern a little more flamboyantly. I'm going to roll that spine up and root into this right leg. That's mine. This one here, this right one. I'm going to lift the left one. And actually, this is truly my left and this is my right. But I'm trying to do that mirroring thing. And there goes my squirrel mind, even at this early hour of the morning. And I'm going to open and close, bringing that down. I'm going to lift, feeling supported, opening to whatever degree my hips say yes to, and close. Whatever expression it wants to give, I am grateful. Breath in, exhale, take it forward. I'm going to place the hands down and step back to hands and knees. Coming down, feeling my relationship to the earth in a different way, and bow and flex into cat and cow. Check into the body's resilience. Can it take more? How is it doing? Try not to look too far back into this year. Greet yourselves right here, right now. What have we not acknowledged that's going on pretty well? Look, here I am. I am standing. I am alive. I'm vibrant. I have loving relationships, and I'm cultivating loving relationships around me. I'm going to reach my left leg back and reach my right arm forward, reaching in both directions, meeting myself in the middle. Breath in, and then we'll bring them both down. I'm going to reach my right leg, greeting that leg for what it is. Maybe it's lower. Maybe it lifts up higher. Just feel it for what it can do. Thank it for what it can do. I'm going to reach my left arm, feeling my body, literally expressing how I feel in my mind. And then I'll bring my left hand down, right knee down. Okay, I'm going to tuck my toes, feel those toes, give some space in there. And then we'll lift the hips up. Nice deep breath. Don't worry about how straight, how perfect anything looks. Just feel it. Feel everything that feels tight and won't move. Feel everything that's going, oh my God, please give me a little bit more of that. And we'll bring those knees down. Do we know how our body talks to us? All right, I'm going to come back just a little bit. Knees wide, finding child's pose. Sinking in it. Nice deep breath. What does your breath represent for you? What is your breath trying to tell you right now? If someone else were hearing your breath, what would it be cueing to them? Are you able to communicate through how you're breathing? And are those around you able to pick up those cues and accept and love that maybe we can't always express what we need verbally? All right, I'm going to shift to the left and shift to the right, a little sway. Let the neck be loose. Feel your bones accommodating and holding your flesh to let your flesh be fluid. Bones being bones and fluid flesh being fluid. Good, and I'm going to twist the right arm open and feel, that spine needing the twist. I'm going to release that down, right hand down, my left arm in the chest, twisting it open. And bring that down. Okay, now don't worry about keeping up with the pace with me. Maybe you need to sit and reflect on a few things. Maybe you want to do a different pose. It's perfectly fine. Sometimes in this live stream world, we just want to have company and don't feel like sitting and being alone. So that's perfectly fine. I'm going to tuck the toes, lift the hips, feeling the backs of my legs, my hamstrings, my arms giving me support. I'm going to look forward and bring the left knee down, stepping my right foot up, and step the left foot up, rolling that spine up. I'm going to lift that right leg, open that hip, bring it back. Now I'm going to step that leg back. Now I'm going to have that back foot flat, this left knee, and you notice I just wiggled that a little bit more to the left, widening that space. I'm going to pull this left hip back, right hip forward, and just bend and straighten. And I'll reach up, keeping that knee nice and bent, feeling that lowering down into the earth, that stance of strength, this stance of warrior. And I'll reach forward. I'm going to bring my right hand down. Now I'm just let the left hand stay on my hip. Now I'm going to turn here so that You can all see, if you're new, I tend to try to turn perspective of my body now and again so that people can see. Bending that left knee. And then ultimately, if we can let go of needing to look at someone else for guidance about how we want to be in the skin we're in, that's some awesome yoga right there. Letting go of needing to be directed by someone else about how we need to be, we need to look and feel in our own skin. Bringing both hands down, I'm going to step my back leg up, rolling my spine up. And I'm going to lift that left leg. Open and close. No pressure. It doesn't have to be high. Open. Just feel the hinges of our emotions wanting to move. And I'm going to step that leg back, taking my time. Right knee is down. Notice, did you rush yourself, right? If everything else in the world is rushing us, why would we do that to ourselves? Especially right now, if we ask ourselves, what do I need to be doing right at this moment other than being in this moment? I don't have to be in a rush. I can take my time and I can just start to straighten and bend and straighten and bend and straighten. Ooh, that's really tight. And bend. Maybe reach and lengthen upward. I don't know what you all like to imagine that you're holding overhead. Sometimes for me it might be like a scepter or sword, and other times it's just my hands reaching up to whatever it is that I want to feel inspired or motivated toward. I'll bring my left hand down. Now I'm going to twist. Now on the other side, I'd said you could just keep that hand at the hip. If you want to twist the chest all the way open, unfurling our wings, feel free. Are you aware of how much you're pressing and standing in both legs? Can we breathe as life has put us into this shape? What are our thoughts while we're in this shape? Are we still the kind people, or whatever's that image of who you feel you are in that shape? I'm going to step the back leg up, rolling the spine up. Good. Let's breathe in. Exhale, take it over. Now we've done a little bit of side. Hopefully the body is feeling a little more awake, a little more alive, lifting up and over to the other side. Breath in, breath out. Come on, back up. Good, and we'll forward fold. Remember, those legs can be apart. They don't have to be together. Let's grab opposite elbows. Softening those knees. And just with every breath, start to be with the weight of the world, easing off your shoulders. Easing off your shoulders. And we'll bring the hands down out in front of us. Here's where a block or a stool, as I had mentioned, might be useful. So you could have your hands at a block here, and a nice, easy kind of space for a standing tabletop. Drawing the shoulders away from the ears. Maybe just work the neck left and right. Try to notice how much strain we're allowing to accumulate up in the neck area. And when you're ready, if you want to play with it, we'll lift one leg up and back behind us. I wouldn't worry about how straight it is, because it's more than enough to be thinking about that right leg holding us. We'll bring that leg down and lift the right leg up. And bring that leg down. Okay, if you like, we're going to push down with that left arm, standing in it, okay? Not letting everything sag us down. Standing in it, revolving. Okay, so we did a nice little twist like this in the warrior. Maybe we're getting to feel out what this feels like. Standing. Twisting, standing versus twisting in another position. Good. And then root in the other arm and twist. You can always make those choices. I'm going to bring this hand down here because my left shoulder, just for that moment, I'm not going to super analyze what's going on. I just said it was not happy with that twist, so I'm going to leave it be because I'm still in it. It's just my shape, right? My expression in it. And release and let the upper body go. Yoga helps us become more aware of our relationship and our senses, how we react to our emotions, how our breath is helping tell us a story about what we're holding on to, what we need to express, how much energy we have, our physical body that carries us in the world, hands to the block, telling us whether we've overdone it, underdone it, when we're done. All right, I'm going to lift my left leg up. And then see if you want to twist the hip open just a little. I'm not doing a little, actually. My hips are like, oh, okay, let's do that. And I'm going to close. I'm all right with it. I'm going to pull that knee into the belly, just checking in for a moment about a little core. What fire is in my belly left? Especially when I think that I don't have any more, right? We're checking in on the truth of that. And oh, look, actually, I've got a little bit of flame left. I'm going to reach that right leg back. I can make this as easy or hard on myself as I want. What am I choosing? What do I need right now? Right now, Saturday morning. Not next week, not next month, not next year. Right here. And let's twist that hip. Feel what is available for us to feel right here. Can I meet it where it is? Will I like it? What is it expressing? How is it expressing it? Closing that hip and knee to the belly. Can I develop my listening skills so that maybe I can hear what others are trying to express better with a little more wisdom, a little more kindness, and bring that foot down and we'll roll the spine up. Let's breathe in and reach up. Exhale, let's find a side bend and bringing it back up. Feeling constant movement and other side. What's really great about that is we get to learn and feel lifting up and bringing ourselves over. That things do constantly change. So when we think that we're stuck, when we think that things are not changing in life, this kind of practice can really help us. All right, I'm going to lift up. I'm going to reach that left leg up. Bend the right knee, reach back, and place the toes down. Now you can bring your hands to the knee if you need some support to bring yourself up. All right, now I'm going to spin that foot flat. So I'm going to end up with Warrior 2. This is my right leg. And I'm going to turn. All right, so my right leg here. Keeping that knee over the heel just to keep the knee joints safe, just not taking it beyond what it needs. Now, this is really wide. This is the most wide open that we've been all morning. And maybe that's too much. So you can always back it up and say, okay, I can do a little, right? But I'm not giving up on myself. I'm not giving up on others. I can still do a little. Do I know my limits? Do I know what feels right for me right now? Do I know when the time is right for me to give a little bit more and stick with it? All right, so we're just bending and flexing. And then I'm going to straighten. And let's see how much we can stretch. And then we're going to stretch. And I'd really like to exaggerate here. Can we move the hips right? And here's my co-pilot. Her name is Puma. She has a really bad or good habit, depending on your perspective, of joining me by coming onto my body while we're in the yoga. All right, so my hand wants to rest on this shin, but maybe for you, you'd like to rest it on your thigh. You could bring this left hand onto the hip and turn for a triangle, or again, you could reach that arm up. Remember what I said though about that left shoulder for myself. So I'm trying to remember, oh yeah, a little bit of respect. I heard the cues inside of my joints. And bringing ourselves back up. Good. I'm just going to spin on that heel and have both feet parallel. Bringing the hands behind the back. Nice little open chest space. Working the chin and the neck up and down. And then around in a circle. Different ways of communication. The body is talking in so many ways right now. Are we tuning in? Are we willing to hear? Change direction. Loosen the grip that we have on our own determination, our own perspective. And let yourselves feel that change. We'll lift the wrists up behind. I'm going to soften these knees, open the chest, and come on forward. Now, you can keep those knees soft. You can be really forgiving on the hamstrings to do it that way. I'm not in any way saying not to straighten the legs, but can we go with less intensity? Told you she was going to join me. And then we'll release our arms down. Maybe shift forward and back. Good. I'm going to walk my hands out in front of me. Bring my right hand down and twist, revolve to the left. Hello, Puma. And left hand down, twist and revolve to the right. Bringing both hands down. Now, I'm probably going to lose my co-pilot now. I'm going to go over to my left leg and hug into it. Go ahead and get down. Ouch. And then over to the right leg. A little bit of a hug. And back to center. Unbuckle the knees a bit and roll the spine up. You know, I really also feel it's important for me to stress. I'm going to spin on this left leg now and bend it. And we'll just start to work a warrior two here. And I'm in no way trying to say that, like, not to oversimplify things, that a yoga pose or even a single yoga session, an asana session, has any way of like making everything better. No, it's just giving us a way, a tool to help us recalibrate, become aware, get to know ourselves. Yeah, we get a little bit of physical body benefit. Puma, I can't hold you right now. I'm going to straighten that leg and we're going to stretch and stretch and stretch. We get a little bit of physical strengthening. The body also gets to teach us a lesson about stretching in different ways. I'm ready to come for this triangle on this side. Apparently it means pet the cat. I'm going to bring my hand down to the shin. Now this arm is okay with wanting to be lifting up as I revolve, feeling the strength of my legs. Noticing, can I breathe here? Maybe these are those gentle reminders when I'm getting caught up in whatever's going on in life to remember, oh, can I feel that breath? What do I need right now? Am I getting swept away? Do I even know what it feels like to be swept away? And am I enjoying that swept away feeling? Or are there some things I can do to start to settle me down? I'm going to take the left arm across, hook and twist. Puma, stay down. I feel like I'm talking to a dog. And other side. I'm going to take this arm across, hook under it, and twist. She is like my dog cat. And she's really big on jumping on me. And release. Good. I'm just going to hinge here and hold at a flat spine. Feels like suspension, but it's not. Saying I have this ability to hold myself against gravity, against different forces with ease and steadiness, with a full respect for what my legs have to do to help me out in this cause, my spine, my mind, can they all work together? And bring the upper body down. And let's make our way down to our hands and knees. I was going to come to sitting. And I guess that's what we'll do and get this cat off my back. Let's start with our feet together for butterfly or Baddha Konasana. Now, early in the morning, I like to do things a little lighter so that I'm not going into a very intense space. So I'm going to keep my heels a little further away from the groin and my chest up and twist. So feel the spine revolving. What are we allowing to revolve and turn inside of us, outside of us? Can we go with that flow? And release and twist. Hi, baby. Her full name, which some kids in a kids yoga class gave to her 3 years ago, is Puma Panda Nugget Robot Monster Yoda. Revolve, revolve, revolve. And bring it back. Let's just take a moment and check in. How does the body feel? How does the mind feel? Try not to overlay on yourselves what you want it to feel like. How do you feel? And we'll come forward. Now you can just go ahead and round the spine. Feel patience seeping into the fibers of your being. Feel your perspective changing. Let's do a few abdominal breaths, letting the tummy expand out as we breathe. Letting the tummy relax as you let the breath out. And we'll bring ourselves back upright. All right. I feel like when we get really tense and stressed, we tend to tighten into this ball in the body. So I'd like to open up a little bit. So hopefully you've got some room where you are that you can extend the legs out. And just let yourself find this little side to side sway and give yourself just a little stroke. Let the hands caress. It's a great affirmation that I'm here, I'm solid, I'm all together, especially when we think that we're falling apart. Now point and flex, maybe ankle rotations. There's something about ankle pointing and toe pointing and ankle movement that feels like a little flamboyant, a little fancy, at least for me, change direction. And I like to have that, especially if I'm feeling stressed out, as a nice little reminder, hey, you're a playful, sassy kind of person. Can I let that expression come out, and how it brings my scale back into balance when I've gotten so serious? A little bit of a twist. What wants to move? How does it want to move? You can move your neck here. Remember, and if you're just joining, I had said earlier in the beginning of our class together that can we not be waiting or to rely on looking at someone else about how we want to be in the skin we're in? You can do any flourish, any way that you wish. I'm going to find the other side. Ooh, what wants to move? Feeling, loving that this side feels so different, right? Ooh, I just thought of something. I love cherries. And for some reason, the image of cherries came to mind. And I'm sure that we've all, whether it's a cherry or a grape, right? If you pick one and it feels like, oh, it was the perfect bite, right? It had the perfect snap and crunch and sweetness. The meatiness had enough firmness or whatever that you enjoy. And then the next one you bite into, it's like not quite the same, but it's still good. So I'm not saying, oh, you picked up one that was like, well, I'm not trying to bring that image into your mind. But when we feel things from side to side, can we have that same experience and be like, oh, that's a grape and it was really good, really crisp. Oh, this next one, it's kind of the same, but not, but it's still good. All right. So I'm gonna bring my arm onto this leg. You can rest that hand wherever you like and lift this other arm. I'm just trying to see about a sideways movement, right? So I'm still in it. I'm just sliding in between the panels. I'm still here, but I'm just kind of slipping through, right? Kind of like if you're going in a line, we don't do that anymore because our lines are not that tight. But can I just slide on through and invite that feeling in yourself? That bit of confidence and just kind of say, yep, I'm going to leave that bit of madness over here, that bit of madness over here. None of it touched on me. Didn't get any of that goopy, gloppy stuff on me. And here I am. Good morning. All right. And I'm going to come forward and back, forward and back, going with the flow. Going with the flow. And I'll bring those legs together. Now you can have your legs, imagine that my mat was lengthwise now. Maybe just the legs are as far apart as the mat. You can clear out some fleshy bits beneath you if you like. And then just find a way of sitting upright. Breathing in, breathing out. And let's twist again to the left in that positioning where we are. Smiling. Good. And then let's twist to the other direction. Good. And let's forward fold. And let's bring ourselves up. And we're going to make our way down onto our backs. All right. Sorry, guys. I had to go up and ban someone. Let's walk the feet in. Let's do that together. Nice deep breath. I'm even going to try to use that situation of someone being sexually explicit and rude as a way for me to just practice. Okay, what do I do? What do I do with my irritation? What do I do with my frustration? People are going to be people and I can't change them. What am I feeling and where is it? Right? I'm a little hot in my hands. a little tight in my chest. So I'm going to stomp a little bit, literally. And I'm feeling that smile on my face from that little laughter. I'm going to let my knees just start to flow left and right. And for me now, I love to bring in the visual of water lapping at an ocean's edge at a beach. Just lapping and lapping. Not any crashing waves, just lapping and lapping. And just feel the feeling in my mind and invite it into my body of that gentle, caressing lapping. Good. And we'll calm back to center. I'm going to push down through my feet, keeping the gaze up and lift the hips. Starting to bring in that inversion, my head beneath my heart. Starting to calm my nervous system. Feeling like a nice heavy blanket being placed on me. And lower the hips down. Now bring the bottoms of the feet together, knees open, like we did sitting. Feel that, nice breaths. Let's bring one hand to the chest, one hand to the belly. Feel the container that is my body, carrying my breath. Reminding myself I can't control anything outside of me, despite my best efforts. But I can control my perspective right now. I can start to invite it at least. Bring that intention. Our intention is where our attention is. And I will release my hands. I'm going to bring those knees together and hug one knee to the belly, other knee to the belly. And just rock and roll. Good. I'm going to cross my right ankle above my left knee and give that a hug. And I think I'm just going to soften my shoulders and just hold on as lightly as I can. And just let breathing and being be the name of the game right here. Enough. I don't need to do more. There isn't anything to do. Accept this moment. Be in this moment. I'm going to invite us to switch, but please feel free to stay doing whatever you wish right now. I'm going to cross and find the other side. I'm not going to yank or pull on it. I'm just going to hold it where it wants to stop. Cat here. Hello, Mustafa. Feeling any rubber bands of tension, tightness. What's inside of that? Is there a scream inside of that? Is there a cry inside of that? Or is there a laugh in it? How do we invite connecting with that feeling, expressing it, not suppressing it? Can we express it? All right, I'm going to bring both legs down. I'm going to reach the arms overhead, straighten the legs out. And big, long stretch. And pull the knees into the chest, forehead to the knees. And breathe. Maybe you feel some belly work there as you come into yourselves for a hug. And reach. Nice safety of going into a ball. And one more time if you want. You don't have to. Good. Arms out to the side, shape of a T. I'm going to drop my knees to the right because apparently this is cat hour and there's Mustafa is in the way. Enough. This moment is enough. It is okay to say you've taken enough, you've had enough. It's okay to have done enough for this day, this week, this moment. Are we believing it in our bodies right now? Or are we still anticipating, bracing, waiting for something else to happen, for something else to be prepared for something else we're not prepared for? Enough. And we'll bring ourselves upright. Got to move the old man and over to the other side. Whoa. Remember what I said about side to side. Are we respecting this side? Respecting what it wants to say, how it's speaking differently. How is this side expressing enough? It's had enough, taken enough, done enough. We'll gradually come on back to center. If you want a happy baby, we can bring our hands behind the knees, but this is a very vulnerable position, all right, because the knees are wide. We're pretty unguarded, so you could always keep your knees into the chest. But if you're wishing to explore this kind of wide hip space, heels can go up to the ceiling, holding on behind the knees, maybe rocking. If you can reach the feet, go ahead, but you don't have to feel like it's a goal or objective. Remember, enough. And when we're done, we'll lengthen the legs out. And position the body in a way that's comfortable for you. Now, the Shavasana, is usually shown in this kind of a shape. But for many people, this is kind of painful on the back. So you could always keep your feet bent in, bending the knees in. You could have your feet together, knees open for that butterfly. Again, there's aspects about this that feel a little too uncomfortable for some. You could curl up, or you could lay on your belly. The point of Shavasana is practicing a posture of stillness and silence. It is still a pose. What are we seeing and hearing and reviewing in our mind? Can we notice that's going on and ask the mind to do one less thing and be right here? Can you tell the body it can trust to do nothing? Can we observe and enjoy the natural process of breath? And I'll invite us to wiggle toes and fingers, however you want to wake up your body. Feel everything that got touched and moved, stimulated, maybe releasing. And we'll bring ourselves upright to a seated space. Good morning to whoever is here, and I hope that you'll stick around if you want to come back in a little bit, maybe about 10 minutes. I'll open another live and we'll start. It's going to be a power practice. This was a basic practice. I appreciate everyone's understanding and flexibility of getting the opportunity for me to be able to get out and go to Lake Michigan before winter sets in, because it feels like winter wants to get here. But I still wanted to be able to do my practice and I could share, so there was no reason not to have the two classes today, the basic and the power. Let's take a moment and connect in. Feel the body, feel your breath. Feel your spirit, your true you. How are you letting him, her, they be seen and heard and expressed? How are we letting ourselves, our true selves, see, hear, and understand others? Maybe I'll find a way to connect and be that authentic and real. We don't have time for a lot of messing around and playing around. Let's greet each other in an authentic manner. Don't sacrifice being your best self for a moment of reactivity. And if it happens, we turn around, we apologize for what we need to, and we forgive and we love, and we keep taking one next step. I'm Belinda with Just Be Yoga. This has been our Basics Yoga Saturday morning, September 20th. Namaste.